maybe I think we'll leave me small on the screen because Eva is going to be on the screen, and who doesn't want to look at her?
They don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah. They're not saying the problem with China is it's too Chinese.
Right.
They never meant that's totally fine. It's only Europe.
Yes, I think.
All right. I got to stop right there. They being the wokies, the leftists. So we get a problem right as we get started. You identify those outside. We have a story. It's our story. We're getting out of the anti-white narrative. We have a story. Who are the bad guys in our story? Well, they are opposite us. They want to harm us. They are anti-us. Those are the bad guys in our tale. If you're going to sit down and write a book, they are the bad guys. You have to name them as such if you want to weld us together. Because if you continue to do like Tucker just did, then we remain isolated individuals being picked off. It's amazing. It's absolutely, I mean, could you imagine? This is like the white cuck argument that I've listened to for decades. Same one. Imagine that. Imagine this. Your whole life too. Here we are today, still today. Same white cuck argument. Well, the Democrats, the leftists, the wokies, the liberals, the Marxists, the communists, anything that dissimulates, anything that takes your mind off of what's actually happening. What's actually being done to what's actually productive for us. Everything that we discuss, everything, how we term everything should be productive for us as a people. Individual well-being by way of group well-being. There's no alternative. So these are the shots being fired. This is the war right now we're talking about. We just looked at Elon Musk and his new persona of a homosexual frog, which is curious, but okay. And we're seeing here, these are some of the massive content creators here, massive crafters of thought for the resistance. And what did we just get? They never say that China isn't too Chinese. Oh, so the next element of where he's wrong is the double standard. Illustrating the double standard is the point. Illustrating a double standard does nothing. It's done nothing since your great-great-grandmammy was going to these meetings. And white people were talking like, God, can you believe another double standard? These people are awful. It does nothing. Now, we can mention a double standard, as I say, for the purpose of using it to catalyze the introduction of the concepts and arguments that liberate our people. But that was the end of his point. They never say China is too Chinese. They only do that for the European country. I hope you're including America, Tucker, because America is a European country. A place could still exist on the map called America after we're gone, but it won't be America, will it? Let's hear what Eva, let's hear if she makes any mistakes.
A large part has to do with the fact that we still live under the curse of the Second World War. Evil has gone.
Okay. Part of the anti-white narrative. It's in the rear view mirror. You can't revise history. And I will debate anybody on this. I've been doing it for decades.
Gotten a real visible face in the collective memory of Europeans, obviously under the Nazi regime.
What is the story of World War II and Adolf Hitler and the Jews and etc., but a small collection of arguments within a much larger collection of arguments that all enable anti-whites to get to anti-white conclusions. So I know a lot of people think that it comes down to, in fact, Collett thinks it really comes down to World War II and whether or not the Nazis were the good guys. Well, you're never going to win. You're never going to end our victimization. The World War II is, and the collection of arguments there are a small part of the overall collection of arguments that white guilt us, that undermine us, that rug pull us, that poison us, on and on. And of course, the more important matter, that you're not going to be able to revise the history. You're not going to be able to rehabilitate Adolf Hitler for the general population. And getting people, especially young guys, to say in a snarky way, yeah, to Adolf Hitler or a meme with Adolf Hitler is not accomplishing that objective, as feckless of an effort as it is. It's not accomplishing it. Because where are they not going to say, yeah, about Adolf Hitler? Well, with their potential girlfriends or wives or mothers or fathers or teachers at school or their employer, etc. All of these are places that we have to be winning the conversation for white well-being.
So the white man is the problem. Patriarchal structures are the problem. Nationalism is the problem.
Okay, she's listing other vectors of attack on the white race to white guilt us and get us to lower our defenses. So she just said it's all about World War II, but then here are some other arguments that anti-whites make.
Problem. So I think if you are, like with me, for example, if you are a blonde woman on the right side, you're immediately in that camp.
She laughs there. She knows that being white and having blonde hair and blue eyes is like the epitome of the evil white person. All white people are evil in the anti-white narrative. But the blonde with blue eyes is and fairer skin is the epitome. She knows that. Why not say that? Why not say it's about coming after white people? Why not say that these people are anti-white?
And that's sort of the only thing that people seem to think about nowadays. It's like, okay, if you adhere to these values, we will have a second world war or a third world war on our hands. So that's
precisely one of many arguments. If white people are well, now how do you handle this argument? If white people are well, if white people are happy, if white people are defending themselves, then you get Nazism, then you get slavery, then you get Jim Crow, then you get genocides. How do you defend against this? Well, you could choose the really dumbass and failed path of historical revisionism, endless historical revisionism, total failure, and salute to everybody who's stuck with that for a long time and it's just been losing and they don't know where to go with it. Thanks for your effort. Now it's time to listen to something smarter. What's another option on how to deal with this? Well, we teach you. If you are in a conversation with an anti-white person or vague, somebody out there who says, well, if white people are well, then everybody else suffers. You win that conversation by getting into the moral position and putting them in the immoral position. So this is your excuse to victimize white people. White people have to always be victimized on the basis of their birth because their well-being is a negative, is a bad. So then your position is that white people have to be suffering ill-being for everyone else to be well. That's your argument, anti-white. And if you take this tact, as I have and developed over the years, you will always win. Even I've come across really hardcore anti-whites, and they even get really touchy about that. White people need to suffer ill-being until we don't exist anymore, until they don't exist anymore. The anti-white's like, well, I mean, not really. I have had hardcore anti-whites hem and haw on that. So you win that conversation for white well-being, or you could go try some historical revisionism and fail.
Simple, really, that type of mindset. And
but that's so mindless.
It's very mindless, but it's a very good means to an end to silence dissidents. So it's
to silence white people. Come on, stop with these euphemisms. Actually, that's a dysphemism. Stop with the dysphemisms. To silence who? The victims, white people. Who is this nebulous dissident group?
It's a very good way to stay in power.
Huh. What was Europe liberated?
Boy, that right there, Tucker. Huh. That is, if there's going to be anything on the epitaph of white cuckery, it's going to be that word. Huh. That's it. We'll put that right on the gravestone of white cuckery. Huh. Huh.
From the Nazis by the Chinese?
I don't think so.
No, it wasn't. Right. But was Europe liberated from the Nazis by the Chinese?
I don't think so.
No.
Ooh, They look at, she thinks he's really making a point there. Thinks he's really does that absolve the white race inside the anti-white narrative? The fact that white people killed white people, does that absolve the white race for the evil of the white race in Germany? Of course not. Feckless argument.
It wasn't. Right. So it actually doesn't make any sense.
No.
Oh, there you go. Maybe that would be on the epitaph as well. It doesn't make any sense. And that, my friends, was the end of the white race. Can anybody else find, I mean, somebody look it up. Can anybody else find a period in the history of Western kind where such sniveling, soft, white cuckery was in the leadership and we defeated violent and aggressive foes? Can anybody else?
But it's Euro specific. Only Europe and the English speaking world is not
It's Euro. Can you not say white people?
allowed to have.
You're a Europe for Europeans.
Look, he didn't even know what to say there. Only Euro and the English speaking, then suddenly realizing that there are a lot of non-white people that speak English too. And what I'm trying to say is that only white people are not allowed to have identity and well-being. But now I've used the abstraction of everybody, just anybody who can speak English. Are those the people who are the ones being persecuted? Tucker, everybody speaking English? Give me a break.
Right. A cohesive society. So,
Oh,
Again.
he ended it with, huh? All right. Any views on that?